welcome back to the channel. I am Miss Coffee, and today we are doing our Q&A number 4. Yes! So you guys apparently still have questions, and I'm here to answer them. So buckle up, get your craft out. We're going to answer some questions. It's real talk here in these crafty streets. So today, of course, we're going to start off on the community tab of my YouTube channel, and then we're going to go over to my group, Crafters Anonymous with Miss Coffee, and we'll answer some more questions from over there. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. You might notice there's a change of scenery. We're currently in the middle of a bad wind/rainstorm, and it was too loud by the window. So we're going to do it from my desk. Anyways, I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. So let's go ahead and get started with our questions. Now, if I do not answer your question in this video, that means you touch a if I do not answer your question in this video, that means you touched on a sensitive topic that I would rather not speak about publicly, and I will answer it in the community tab, or I will message you if you just really have to know whatever it is. Not saying that there are any questions like that, just giving you a heads up now. So with that said, let's get started. So the first question comes from Creative Grammy. She asks, do you ever have an amount of time when you're crafting, when all crafting is torture, when you would rather, hold up, let me restart that because apparently my brain didn't process. Do you ever have an amount of time when all crafting is torture, when you would rather haven't any desire to do anything crafty at all? Essentially, she's asking, is there any point of time that I sit here and go, oh my God, I don't want to do anything? Yes. There are times that I go through periods where I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. And usually it's within those times I realize that it's time to take a break. It's time to step back. It's time to not worry about, oh, well, they're going to be upset if I don't finish this soon, or they're going to be, whatever. A lot of what I do is motivated by my subscribers. And so I don't, of course, like most creators, I don't want to disappoint my subscribers, but if I don't feel the motivation or the excitement behind something, I'm not going to do it. What people fail to realize is even though folks on YouTube are influencers, we might be able to influence, a few people here and there. I don't feel that people realize that even though we're influencers, we're still people. So we still go through a lot of the same struggles as normal people because we are normal people. We just happen to be in the spotlight because we have YouTube channels or big followings on, social media, but we're regular people. So we go through burnout. We go through mental health issues. We go through not wanting to do projects just like everyone else. So yes, that is a very real thing. And yes, I have gone through that a couple of times. Am I going through it now? Because I know that's going to be another question. Not really, because I can diamond paint, but I don't want to sit back here for 4 or 5 hours diamond painting. I can do paint by numbers. I don't want to sit there for the next 7 to 8 hours painting. I can do crochet. Just don't feel like doing it. I don't want to sit there for a long period of time and do it. Even with drawing, I don't spend my entire day drawing. I spend maybe 2 or 3 hours drawing, and that's it. That's it. Right now, I'm more focused on spending time with my family because I've lost out on a lot of time with my family because of, things that I do on the side of YouTube and answering questions and trying to sit down for a meal and you have people questioning you about what's the best diamond painting company or what's your favorite drill shape or stuff like that. That can wear on your mental health as a creator. Most people would be like, well, just turn your phone off. What most people don't also understand is I have a child that does not live with me. So that phone never gets shut off. I might ignore people, but I don't shut it off because my daughter needs to have 24/7 access to me if something happens, which has already happened once or twice before since I've moved. So I won't turn my phone off or anything, but there are definitely periods of time where I'm just like, oh my God, I would rather claw my eyes out than do any kind of crafting right now. So yeah, there definitely is. So thank you, Creative Grammy, for your question. I really appreciate it. The next one comes from Ashley. Now, this is a question that's kind of a sensitive topic, but I will answer it because I know a lot of people are curious about this. This is going to be a long one, y'all. Ashley asked, "Hi, Miss Coffee." Hey. I don't know if you've answered this before. Not as much nowadays, but when I first started, it was like every other question. And I know this because I saw it before I started recording, and I'm like, oh God, we're back on this again. But don't worry, it's fine. If you've answered this before or not, but what colors can you see? And the colors that you can't see, what does it look like to you? I've always wondered this. It's like for people, wonder what it's like for people who are colorblind. So, as you guys know, or if you're new to my channel, hey, I'm Miss Coffee. I am also colorblind. I am red-green colorblind. Yes, it is very rare for women to be colorblind. My father is colorblind. My son is actually also colorblind. The funny thing about it is my son and my dad have blue-gray colorblind, whereas I'm red-green colorblind. What does that mean? That means I don't particularly see those colors the same way everybody else does. And what do I see? It depends on the hue of the color. So like this here, where you're seeing, I want to say, if I remember correctly, she had red in her. This looks hot pink to me. Now, how do I know this? One, because when I was working on this one, Mr. Coffee kept telling me that it's not hot pink. Because I was like, why does she have a hot pink kimono on? Hot pink and black. She looks kind of good. He's like, no, that's red. It just depends on the hue. What colors can't I see? Because a lot of people misconstrue being colorblind, meaning like I'm a dog and I can't see colors. And I hate to tell you, but dogs can see colors. I can see all colors. Just don't see some of them correctly. Reds and greens particularly. So when like I can see purples just fine. I can see grays. I can see yellow. You know, I can see all the colors fine except for shades and hues of red and green. And sometimes that might even spill into like sometimes depending on how dark the yellow is, I might not be able to see it. It just depends on the hue. And I know this is going to be another question of the chroma glasses. I want to say they are. There's some glasses out there for people who are colorblind. And I look at it like this. I am colorblind. I've been colorblind as long as I can remember. This is something you're born with. It is not something that develops. I was obviously made this way for a reason. I'm supposed to see the world differently than everybody else. So when it comes to those glasses that are supposed to make you be able to see all the colors correctly, I have no interest in that because I was made this way for a reason. And if I was supposed to see the world the way that everybody else sees it, then I would have been made that way, but I wasn't. So I don't see what I have as a problem or a disability. It does mean I have to work a little bit harder than everybody else because when it comes to like diamond painting or even doing adult coloring or drawing, I have to memorize where things are so that I know which colors to use. And I get a lot of help from my family. So when I first started, a lot of my videos might have looked a little choppy, where it looks like I was pausing and starting and pausing and start. That's because I would have to ask family members what color something was. And I still do that to this day. I have a secondary phone that if I'm in the middle of an unboxing, I will pause my recording. I will use a secondary phone, take a picture and send it to like my husband and be like, what color is this? I have pretty much memorized the DMC color list. So whenever kits come in that don't use the DMC color list, I tend to have a little bit of an anxiety attack because I'm like, I don't know what that is. So it's reds and greens that I struggle with. And I don't think I properly see like some other colors too, but I can't tell you what they are because I never think to ask Mr. Coffee what they are. So it's reds and greens, and I can still see all the other colors because I swear every time I do this, like when I was in school and I would tell people that I was colorblind, the first thing they'd do is go, "What color is that? What color is that?" And I'm like, I'm not a dog. I can see colors. Like, this is pink. This is also pink. Like, I can still see colors. It's just some shades of reds and greens. And they can go, it can go anywhere from looking like, you know how you see a shiny red or a shiny purple object? And it looks kind of dark purple at the top where, you know, or wherever, it looks shiny at the top and then gets darker as it comes down, where you would see that gradient of color for like reds and greens. I don't. So like something, depending on the shade of red, if it's like a light, like pinkish red, that could look, I want to say like creamish to me, I guess. Because if I remember correctly, Mr. Coffee and I did a paper thing with color blindness. And some of the colors I was seeing that looked tan were apparently just light shades of red. So it just depends on the hue. But it's reds and greens that I struggle with. So thank you, Ashley, for your question. I appreciate it. The next question is coming from Marilyn. Hello. Hey, Miss Coffee. Hey. My question is, what do you do with finished projects from crochet patterns you test? Do you keep them or do you send them back to the magazine for you test for? Hope you're feeling better by now. Thank you, Marilyn. I am feeling a lot better today. What do I do with the patterns that I test? Well, because they're tester patterns, I can't do anything with them. Don't worry about that. That's just the doorbell. I can't do anything with them until the tester pattern is released. So usually when I do my tester patterns, I get them about a month or so before they come out in the magazine, because we need to have time to work the project, make sure the gauges is right, make sure the stitch counts are right, make sure the wording and grammar is right before we can actually like have it printed into the magazine or whatever. Which I strictly focus on testing patterns, which I haven't done a lot of lately, to be honest, just because with everything going on, I haven't had time. I think I did one like 2 weeks ago. And, yeah, when the tester pattern is released, I'll do one of two things. I'll either give it to one of the kids, depending on what it is, or I will donate it to like the school, or like if it's like beanies or something, like I'll donate that to like, you know, a homeless shelter or a retirement home, which we have quite a few retirement homes around here. So usually it goes to a retirement home when it's around here. So usually it either gets given to the kids or it's donated. So thank you so much, Marilyn, for your question. Cat Gnome asks, hey, Miss Coffee. Hey. When you do one of your drawings on Friday Night Live, could you say what tool you are using? Some of us have the Procreate app and would like to follow along. Also, maybe at another time, would you consider describing what are some of the Procreate tools do? Thank you. Now, if you didn't know, Kat, if you didn't see the video this week, I actually did a quick little tutorial on Procreate. Now, when it comes to Procreate, the tools you use are just the tools that are in Procreate. You can buy extra tools, but you don't have to buy extra tools. The tools that they give you to start out with are perfectly fine until you get comfortable using it. And then if you decide you want to, say, get some texture brushes, or you want to get, you know, fur brushes, you can buy all that stuff extra later. But when you're first starting out on Procreate, just to get a feel for what's going on and not to overwhelm yourself, just focus on the tools that they give you when you first start, because they work just as fine as everything else. Matter of fact, the pencil that I use in Procreate is actually one of the generic pencils that comes with it. So like I want to say it's the 6B pencil that I use for sketching. That's a normal everyday pencil. Now, I have tons of brushes, but I still use some of the basic brushes whenever I'm doing my drawings and stuff. And again, I am in no shape, form, or whatever an artist, but I'm learning. So I do have a lot of different brushes because I've been working with Procreate for about 2 years now. And there are so many things that you can learn on Procreate. And then by the time you see this, you would have saw that I actually am going to be drawing in Friday Night Live this week. It'll be the first time I'm drawing in live. So I'm a little nervous about it, but it is what it is. But I did a whole video on that, which there will be another one coming out next week. I'm going to try to get some videos recorded because I need to be available all next week for this trial that's happening. Y'all know what trial I'm talking about. So thank you so much, Kat, for your question. Crafty Book Dragon. If you played D&D, what race or class would you pick? I have no clue. I've heard of D&D, but I've never played it. Mena's dad was huge into it, and I was not. I know nothing about it besides the name is D&D, so I have no clue. P.S. I love the cup. If you get back to them, absolutely no rush though. Love the content stories. not sure what cup she's talking about. But thank you, Jessica. It says Jessica. If I had to pick a class, probably a healer class. If whatever the healer class is, there's probably like 100 healer classes or something. But usually I tend to go for healers. So whatever the healer class would be, that would be what I would go for. So thank you so much for your question. The next one comes from Kim. Kim asks, hey, Miss Coffee. Hey. I hope you had a great Mother's Day. I slept through all of Mother's Day. It was wonderful. My question for you this week is, do you have any hidden talents? If yes, what are they? Hidden talents. I don't think so. I'm pretty open about, like, myself on my channel. So, like, I'm double jointed. So, like, I can do weird things sometimes. Like, I can make this happen behind my back as, like, yeah, I'm double jointed. That's really it. I don't really think I have any hidden talents, but then again, something y'all might think is a talent, I might think is just whatever, but not really. But thank you so much for your question, Kim. I appreciate it. Marcia says, thank you, Miss Coffee. Thank you for doing the Q&A. I don't quite remember, but what's the different types of glues that they use to make diamond painting? Thank you so much for all you do, and have a beautiful Mother's Day, and stay safe. Hope you're feeling better. Yes, again, I'm feeling much better, so thank you, Marcia. I never know if it's Marcia or Marcia. I don't know why. I can't get this poor woman's name right. She has been a subscriber of mine for a very long time. But diamond painting. You have double-sided tape, which literally is double-sided tape. You have mounted glue, which in my opinion is a stronger double-sided tape. And then you have poured glue, which is when the process of glue is poured onto the kit. And I think that's it. There might be another type of glue, press glue or something. I don't remember. But those are the three main ones. So you have, which the only person that uses mounted is Laoji Wong on AliExpress and TSA. And then the double-sided tape, 90% of AliExpress uses double-sided tape. A lot of company has moved over to the poured glue because it is the more, it's the stronger glue of all three of them. In my opinion, working with all three of them, poured glue is the best, and then I guess mounted glue, but I'm not the biggest fan of mounted glue, to be honest. And I really don't like poured glue either, because it does mounted glue is better in the sense that it doesn't get the bubbles and rivers that so easily that double-sided tape does. But then double-sided tape is just the worst. I don't like. There are some people out there that like it, so I'm not coming for you if you like double-sided tape. I personally do not like double-sided tape. So there's double-sided tape, mounted glue, poured glue. So double-sided tape is most of AliExpress. Mounted, you have TSA and Laoji Wong, and then poured glue, you have your companies like Craftably, Star, or Mystical Diamond Art when she was in business. Diamond Art Club, places like DIY Moon Shop, they use poured glue. So there you go, Marcia. Thank you so much for your question. I appreciate it. The next question from Tammy. Hi, Miss Coffee. Hey. If you can talk to anyone that has passed away, who would it be, and what questions or topics would you talk about? That's a weird question. I don't know. I think I would talk to my grandmother. Just because growing up, we grew up in a military family. Because of this, I didn't learn a lot about my family until I was a little bit older. If you hear that noise, it's just the wind outside. But I didn't learn about my family until I was a little bit older, and I don't know much about my grandmother. Like, I know her and my dad had a kind of a shaky history, but that's it. Like, I don't know much about her, and I would pretty much just ask her about life and, like, why she did some of the things that she did, and how did she do some of the things that she did. I don't know. That's just, I don't know. That's a weird question. What else did it say? B, if you could have a conversation with anyone from history books, who would it be and what questions would you ask them? You do realize, like, I'm like way older. So like you said history books and immediately my brain just like deflated. History books. Probably Dorothy Dandridge. I don't remember if she was in the history books, but if I could go back and talk to somebody, it'd be her, because she was one of the first women of color to do performances and stuff. I don't remember everything about her. I remember bits and pieces, but I always wondered what it was like for her back then. What struggles did she have? Just so I could compare them to the struggles that I have. It's no secret that I'm one of very few POC crafters in the craft community. So I have my own struggles that I deal with on top of like regular struggles when it comes to content creation. So like where her doing movies is nowhere near content creation. I would still ask her what struggles she had to see if this is something where history essentially is just constantly repeating itself, as deep as that is. So that's that answer. So thank you so much, Tammy, for your question. And it says, okay, I got that. So Sarah asked, thanks for taking the time to share stories that you do. I enjoy listening to them while I work on my own DP. My question is, what are your top 3 favorite activities to do with Mr. Coffee and the kids when it's family bonding time? All right, I got you. We just started doing this. 1, family movie night. We have one family movie night every night where we get fast food and popcorn and we sit in front of the TV and we watch 2 or 3 movies with the kids, and then we send them to bed, and then him and I do a late night date night. Late night date night is essentially when the kids go to bed, we order fast food and we sit here like fat bitches getting our fat bitch on. Okay? Yeah. So family movie night, late night date night. We like to play cards because we get a lot of family oriented games from subscribers and What You Got Wednesdays. So we will play like Uno, which Orion cheats. We will play Exploding Kittens, I think it's called, which Orion cheats. And we'll play like Pity Pat, which is a game that I know that nobody else knows, so Orion cheats. Either way, Orion cheats, but still. We like to play Twister, but we kind of broke the board the last time because me and Mr. Coffee, it's a whole thing. The board just kind of, between me and Mr. Coffee trying to hold each other up and do, look, we're old at this point. It just didn't work out well for that Twister board. Anyways, we also like to do drawing. Because I started getting into drawing, the weird thing is, the kids can draw. Like, Maggie makes better eyes than I do. Orion is great at making little doodles. Like, he can do really good little sketches of things that he wants to draw. He never, like, follows through with them. He just likes he can come up with the ideas, like, and since we all do it, we will have, like, a Pictionary night where we just kind of sit and we'll go around and everybody picks one thing, and then everybody has to draw it in their style. So, doing that. What do we say? We said family movie night, late night date night with me and Mr. Coffee, playing cards with the kids, drawing with the kids, and because I have a lot of craft supplies, oh yeah, we do that all the time. Or we like to go hiking. So those are some of the things I like to do during family bonding time. And that's one of the few times where I won't turn off my phone, but I will silence it because I don't want to be bothered because, again, I'm having to battle Orion the cheater. Okay, he's not really cheating. He just wins all the time, and it's, as an adult who is very competitive, it's infuriating. I will gladly admit that I get infuriated because I never win anything. So thank you, Sarah, for your question. I actually gave you more than 3, but you know, I can't count. I don't math. P.S. Okay, I don't. All Fired Up Crafting Lounge. she's talking about PS already, and I haven't even gotten her. I don't know if it's out of order or what, but it says PS. I'm still waiting for those adorable animal pictures to become stickers. I know I've said that every time you release a new animal drawing, but it's so sure it would make wonderful stickers. She's talking about the little cute animals I've been drawing. I've been drawing those just to get out of my comfort zone with drawing, because once you get comfortable doing something, if you don't challenge yourself, you don't grow. You don't learn anything. So that's what she's talking about. She wants me to make them into stickers. Eventually, maybe one day, but right now, yes, no. So thank you, All Fired Up Crafters Lounge. Joan says, first of all, I just enjoy listening to you talk about your family. Oh, I'm glad somebody does. My question is, how did you and Mr. Coffee meet, and was it love at first sight? Yikes! We met through a mutual friend. There was this guy that liked me, and I didn't like him. And he wanted me to come hang out with him and a few of his friends at his house. And I'm like, in my brain, being a single woman at the time, I was like, okay, when you get there, like, you can hang out, but once you get there, come up with an exit plan. Because anywhere I go, I have to have an exit plan. Because if something goes awry, I need to know that I can get out. So I was like, all right, bet, we can go, hang out at your house. And he's like, well, I'm going to have a few friends there. Okay, phew. Because okay. So we get to his house, and he had 2 other couples there. Mr. Coffee and who he was currently dating, and some other weird guy and his girlfriend. And the moment I seen Mr. Coffee, it was love at first sight for me, because I was like, oh, god damn. Not even gonna lie, I said that out loud, and my friend that was trying to get with me was like, what's wrong? I'm like, oh, nothing, I'm good. Well, what ended up happening was I wanted to talk to Mr. Coffee, but his girlfriend seemed mad about something. So I was like, I don't want to bother him. Like, obviously the girl's mad about something, and I know when to, leave things alone. So I didn't speak to him, but my friend that was with me was like, you want a beer? And I'm like, no, I got to drive home. I'm good. And so he drank this warm beer, and I don't even know what kind of beer it was. He drank the warm beer and passed out, like, just almost instantly, just, like, passed out. And we were just like, is he okay? Like, we're checking to make sure this guy's breathing and everything. He was fine. Well, then Mr. Coffee comes over and he goes, hey, I'm JD. And I'm like, hey, I'm Miss Coffee. I was like, hey, I'm Alishia. And he's like, you want to draw on him? Heck yeah. So Mr. Coffee comes over with this backpack full of Sharpies. Mr. Coffee used to be a graffiti artist, okay? So paint cans and Sharpies were his life. And so he comes over with this bag full of Sharpies, and we're drawing all over this guy. We're drawing penises on the side of his face, all over the side of his neck. We're drawing in, like, obscured things all over this guy in Sharpie. He's passed out. He don't care. And I was, like, sitting there thinking, I'm like, hold up. How the hell am I supposed to get home? Now, take it. I lived about 6 blocks from there, and it's, like, midnight. And I want to say either I got one of my other friends to come get me and take me home. Somehow I got home, because the guy never woke up. Like, he woke up the next day and was like, what did y'all do to me? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So for me, it was Mr. Coffee. He was in another relationship, so I don't think he had the same thought that I did, because I sat very patiently. It's the first time I've been so patient for something in my entire life, and I was like, oh yeah, they'll break up soon. I waited and waited. The good thing was I'd seen Mr. Coffee often, because I worked at a photography studio inside of Walmart, and him and his family would come in all the time, of course, because it's inside of Walmart. And so I would see him often, and every once in a while he'd stop by and say hi. He'd stop by and be like, you want to go outside and have a cigarette? Because back then I smoked cigarettes. And I was like, heck yeah, let's go outside and have a cigarette so I can learn more about you and my future life. And we would go have cigarettes and we would chat. And one day I went up to work to go get something. Do paperwork or get something. No. I lived, like, really close to the store. And every once in a while I would have somebody that would specially request me take their pictures. And I have this one client who I've been taking his picture since birth, and his mom just happened to come in. They needed some quick photos for something, and she asked if I would take them. So I was coming into work to take this person's pictures, and Mr. Coffee was outside, and he looked kind of upset, and I'm like, hey, what's going on, dude? And he's like, me and my girlfriend broke up. I'm like, Say word. And so that's how we met. That's how we got together. And we've been like glue ever since. The funny thing about it is, we weren't dating, but we would hang out all the time. Like, all the time. And one day something happened where his mom and his sister ended up having to go to Pittsburgh. I want to say something happened with his dad. And we were home by ourselves all day at his mom's house. And they come back, and we're sitting outside on she had this really nice porch swing. We're sitting outside on the porch swing, just sitting there chit-chatting and talking. And she goes, "Are you guys dating?" I look at him. He looks at me, and I'm like, before I could shrug my shoulders, he's like, "Yeah." Now, I don't remember you asking me not a goddamn question, okay? So, apparently, we started dating, and then 3 months later, we got married. So, that is how me and Mr. Coffee met. For me, it was love at first sight. For Mr. Coffee, I don't know what goes through Mr. Coffee's head, y'all. I think he was just like, "Oh, look, this cool chick." I don't know. Mr. Coffee's weird. But thank you so much for your question, Joan. The next question comes from Nikki. Nikki says, "How are you doing after your hospital visit? Everything okay? Also, this image is adorable." Oh, thank you. I'm actually doing a lot better. If you missed the Whip and Chat this week, go watch the Whip and Chat. Help your girl out. I went to the doctor. I don't have to get iron infusions, luckily. I just need to take some massive iron pills. And I know the one thing that everybody kept saying was, watch them iron pills, you'll get constipated. The ones that they gave me they haven't affected my bowels at all. As TMI as that is. It hasn't constipated me or anything like that. And I seem to have a lot more energy to do things. So I'm doing a lot better. My kidney and liver infection are starting to clear up. So like my stomach isn't hurting as much anymore. And I'm able to stay awake for half the day now instead of taking 4 small naps all day. So yes, I'm feeling a lot better. So thank you so much for your question, Nikki. The next one comes to us from Melinda. Melinda says, "I'm a big fan." Oh, hi, Melinda. My question is, if you could spend the day with any famous person, dead or... What's up with you folks in the dead or alive thing? Like, y'all are starting to worry me. A lot of y'all watch too many true crimes, and it shows. Dead or alive, who would it be and why? Johnny Depp, because he's sexy. I'm not even joking. Like, Johnny Depp, because he's sexy. That's it. I don't care what he does. He can just sit there and, like, go through his normal everyday life, and I'd just be like... Yeah, I don't even care. I look like a dumbass all day. Just Johnny Depp. So, thank you, Melinda, for your question. Chill out on them true crimes. Okay. Kelly Big Eyes 1 says, what's the favorite thing about the town you live in? That there's an exit. I don't know. I don't typically like drive around here. Like, if you were to tell me to go to Bubba's Bubbles, which is a real car wash around here, it's called Bubba's Bubbles, I would be like, what's that? Where? I don't know where that is. I still have to use a GPS just to get to USPS, or to get to UPS. I don't know nothing about this town. I stay in my house. The only thing I like about this town is that there's an exit, so if I ever want to move out of this place, I know how to get out of here. I'm not the biggest fan of Williston, to be completely honest. It's hella expensive here for no reason other than these people are price gouging these oil-filled men. And the oil-filled men have no choice because they're making the good money, but you're also spending a good chunk of that money just paying bills and stuff. So I don't really like it here. Not my favorite place. What is one thing you dislike about the town you live in? That there's an entrance. I don't know. Again, I don't interact. I might have interaction with like a handful of people that actually live here. And that's because they live around me. So like, I like to keep the people that live around me on good terms with me. So I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, I'll say hi to my neighbors and I'll say hi to the landlady and her daughter who used to live here, now lives somewhere else. But other than that, I don't talk to nobody here. I don't know nobody here. I don't know nothing about this. One thing I dislike is the fact that their schools are ridiculously all over the place and stupid. So, okay. So you have the elementary school, which goes through K through 4. Then across town, okay, and I'm talking about at least 8 to 10 minutes across town, you have the intermediate / middle school. That school goes from grades 5 to 6. Hold up. 5, 6, and then splits off into a different school, 7, 8, and then so half of the school is for 5th and 6th graders. The other half of the school is for 7th and 8th graders. Once you graduate there, you come all the way back across town, past the elementary school, to go to the high school. I hate the way they have their school system here. I hate the fact that they don't have buses for these kids here. I hate the fact that they don't have snow days. I hate the fact that it snows so much here. I hate the fact that people around here, especially the women, are very snotty. They think they're better than everybody else. Miss Coffee don't get down like that, and the first time they say something to me, I might get arrested. So make sure y'all watch my video so I have bail. Watch my video so I have bail money. It's going to be my new slogan. But really, I don't like a lot of things about this place. Like the schools, seriously, the schools are seriously like that. Like, you have the elementary school, and then the middle school and the intermediate school are way off yonder, and then the high school is way up past it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. If you had to up and move tomorrow, would you go back? Hell no. I don't even have to read the rest of that. Would you go back to PA? No. I hated PA worse than I hate this place. PA was very racist. Very, like, or somewhere else. I would go somewhere else. I would not go back to Pennsylvania. Let me explain. The town that I lived in is predominantly white. And those people did not hide their disdain for the fact that not only was I in an interracial relationship, but I also had interracial children. I have been arrested more than once in that town for getting into fights from people saying severely, highly racist things to me or about my children. Because usually I'm like, you know, you can say what you want about me. The moment you say something about them kids, these hands are rated E for everyone, and everyone can get them. You can even get it buy one, get one free. And I was constantly getting in trouble because people there were very racist. Now, is that to say all of PA is racist? No. The part that I lived in was. And so, no, I would never go back to Pennsylvania. Never. I will move close to Pennsylvania so I can see my daughter. But I would never move back to Pennsylvania. Oh, my God. I hated it there. It was horrible. There's nothing like walking past somebody and they clutch their purse and they, like, lock their doors. And I'm like, I'm in sweatpants and a beanie. Like, I'm going to get milk. What are you scared of? People are ridiculous. So, yeah, I would move somewhere else. I would probably move somewhere around Pennsylvania, but I wouldn't move to Pennsylvania. So thank you so much, Kelly Big Eyes 1, for that question. The next one comes from Sammy Rose, 1989. One more thing. Was there a first thing? I promise, can you do more drawing videos? Yes. I just bought Procreate and would like to learn how to use it. I have an iPad and saving for a pen. I love your videos and always watch you on Twitch. I'm not on Twitch. I'm usually in, like, other people's stream and I will host channels, but I'm not, like, no matter how much Mr. Coffee is still trying to talk me into going on Twitch, I am not on Twitch. But, thank you for making videos. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you so much. But yeah, no, I don't do content creating on Twitch. Mr. Coffee really wants me to. The problem is most of my subscribers don't even know what Twitch is, let alone how to use it. So, like, where I've thought about it for about 30 seconds, I also went, no. So, thank you so much, Sammy. I really appreciate it. And yes, I will be doing more drawing videos. It's just, for some reason, getting the nerve up to do it. And then by the time, like, I'm so used to doing, like, my diamond paintings on Tuesdays that I actually feel like diamond painting on Tuesdays. It's the weirdest thing. So, thank you, Sammy, for your question. Poet of Darkness, hello. That picture is so adorable. Thank you. If you could learn a different language, which one would you pick? Spanish. I would learn Spanish. Now, when I say that, I know un poco Spanish. Like, I know a little bit of Spanish. I'm not, like, fluent at all. Like, I took Spanish for, like, 4 years in high school. So I know a little bit of something. Not enough to be like, I know Spanish. Hola, soy Dora. Like, no, I'm not like that. But, I would want to learn Spanish because I do have quite a few Spanish-speaking friends. So, Spanish. So, thank you, Poet of Darkness, for your question. Sarah Sanders is the next one. If you didn't have to worry about, for 24 hours, and that 24 hours, what topic of interest would you spend the 24 hours learning? What? Are you trying to ask me what? Sorry, my watch is telling me to move. If you don't have to worry for 24 hours, in that 24 hours, what topic of interest would you spend the 24 hours learning about? Oh, would I spend 24 hours? Spanish. Boom, there you go. Sarah says, if I remember correctly, I believe you promised a few gift cards as a challenge if you didn't finish Swan Lake by your birthday in a previous live. Is that still in effect since you no longer have the kit? Actually, I do have the kit. Now, that kit was given to a friend of mine that lives around here because I was going to have, the lady I know with the dogs, I was going to have her complete it because she really liked it. But I asked her for it back. So I do have said kit. Will I finish it by my birthday? Probably not. Will I still do the gift cards? Sure. I'll do the gift cards. So thank you, Sarah. KIC says, what is one niche thing you collect that isn't craft related? Hello Kitty. I don't know. I like Hello Kitty. I used to have a big obsession with Betty Boop. And somehow, somewhere in like my 20s, it switched from Betty Boop to Hello Kitty. I don't know. Thank you, KIC, for your question. Kathy, look, listen, okay. So, there's a young lady on my channel. Her name is Kathy. Her name is spelled C-A-T-H-E. I kept calling her Kaith or anything of that sort because that's what I thought her name was. I went into Jeremy's live on this past Wednesday. He goes live on Twitch. Jeremy goes live on Twitch. And Jeremy's like, hey, Kathy. And I'm like, who the hell is Kathy? And she's like, hi. I'm like, the whole time your name's been Kathy and you've been letting me say it. She's just chuckling at the fact that I'm an idiot and could not get her name right to save my life. This woman has been following my channel for months, and I've been calling her Kaith. Hi, Kathy. Y'all, I'm a mess. Kathy says, hey, Miss Coffee, I have a really random one for you this week. Orange juice with or without the pulp? With pulp. I like pulp in my orange juice. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, I'm so messed up by that. Like, I just spent the last few months calling this poor woman Kate. Okay? Y'all want to take advice from me. Okay. All right. So the next question is, thank you, Kathy, for your question. But Lisa G is the next one. She says, what's one thing you like and dislike about the state you live in? If you could, what's one thing you could change about the state? I don't like the way the school system's set up. I would change them not having buses. I would make them have buses. I hate taking the kids to school in the morning. It's such a pain. Oh my God. I remember taking the bus as a kid. My kids used to take buses in PA, and then we moved here, and they're like, no, you got to pay $300 per kid per week for your kid to ride the bus. Look, I know gas prices are high. They ain't that motherfucking high. Like, no. So probably the fact that they don't have buses here is one thing I would change. One thing I like about this place is quiet. Surprisingly. It's really quiet. And then she said, if you could, what's one thing you could change about your state? The fact that they don't have buses for the kids in Williston. I don't know about the rest of the state. I've been to like two parts of this state. I think I've been to Minot and I've been to Bismarck. That's it. And I don't remember either place. So it would just be buses because I'm selfish and I want the buses here in Williston. I don't know about the other places if they have buses or not. So thank you, Lisa G, for your question. The next one comes from Pamela. How do you feel about trying paint by numbers with acrylic paints? Would you consider doing them here on the channel? And then in that thread, I linked to her the paint by numbers that I did. Now, if you see me working on something on the channel, like a paint by numbers or adult coloring or whatnot, for a while there, what would end up happening is I would start a project. I would gauge what the audience wants to see. If that if I do a video and the video got less than what I'm used to getting in views in 24 hours, because like I know the time frame of like what my views look like. Like some of my least popular videos right now are my artist highlights, because most of the people on my channel are here to see diamond painting. They're not here to see artwork. But I don't care, so I'm showing artwork. I won't be showing much diamond painting. So what I used to do was I would stop doing it, because obviously people don't want to see that, and I obviously want to put up what people want to see. I have since learned that my audience of people will find me, and there are people out there that like to see these artist highlights. There are people out there that like to see art or like to see drawing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a tutorial. So I went from, like with my paint by numbers, the reason I say all that is because with my paint by numbers, you would have noticed that it went on for 3 or 4 videos and then it stopped. That's because there wasn't a lot of interest in it. Like, people were not watching it. And so there's no point of me making and putting all the work into a video that nobody's going to watch. Nowadays, I do what I want. So thank you so much for your question, Lee. No, I'm sorry, that was Pamela. But I did link the playlist for that paint by numbers series that I did. And she said thank you, so she did see it. All right. All Fired Up is back again. All Fired Up. You've mentioned you are colorblind. Have you researched those glasses that help colorblind people see colors? Please see the beginning of the video. Ashley's question. I have seen them. I don't want them. My biggest, the thing that makes me the maddest about the human race is that immediately when there's any molecule of something that people don't consider normal or they consider is broken, they immediately want to fix it. And it's like, what if I don't want to be fixed? I see, and I get trauma dumped on me all day, every day, okay? Trauma dumping is when people come into a video or a live or whatever, and they're like, here's all the trauma and mental health crap that I have going on in my life, and they dump it on you, which can then, in turn, affect your mental health, because they're dumping their trauma on you, to which you now have to feel bad because you don't know what to say. And when it comes to this particular topic, I try to tell people all the time, I am not broken. And even if I was broken, a broken crown still colors. I don't need to be fixed. So, no, I have never researched into those glasses. And there was a young lady, like I said before, I don't remember her name. It was at the, I think it was like my first or second year here on YouTube. She bought the glasses, and again, it did not go over well. She didn't even really buy those glasses. She bought some knockoffs off AliExpress, and it did not go over well at all. At all. So, like, I try to tell people, I am not broken just because I don't see colors like everybody else. Please don't try to fix me because I'm not broken. That's like... essentially, that's like treating somebody differently because they're not like you and they're not how you think that they should be. Maybe I'm happy with the way I am, but nobody ever thinks about that part. They just think, oh, you're colorblind? Let me fix you. No, I don't need to be fixed. So no, I have not looked into the glasses. I am not at all interested in them. I'm obviously supposed to see things the way that I do because that's how I was made. So that's how I see it. So thank you all, Fired Up Crafters Lounge, for your question. I really appreciate it. I got a lot of questions today. The Crafty Lady Layer says, hey, Miss Coffee. Hey, you mentioned your siblings in the past. Where are you in line up, and what's the funniest mean thing you did to one of them growing up? Also, which is easier to say, my Crafty Lady Layer, or, you know what? Your name is easier to say than the S word. Y'all know what S word it is. So, I actually have a lot of siblings. let's go with blood siblings. So blood siblings, I have older brother, then there's me, there's my baby sister Jasmine, and then my baby brother Denzel. So the four of us either share a father or share a mother, or we share both. Usually I wasn't actually the mean one. Growing up, I wanted nothing to do with my family, essentially like now. Except for now I'm an adult and I don't have to deal with them. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, I'm a loner. I've always been a loner. Even growing up, I was always on my own. I never really bothered my siblings well, I didn't bother them, but they would bother me. Like my sister, okay, bet, I got you. So my sister Jasmine is my baby sister, meaning me and my siblings are all 2 years apart. So I don't know how old my brother is, but it would be 2 years more than what I am. And then my baby sister is 2 years younger than me. So literally we're all 2 years apart. So my brother, me, my sister, Denzel. I don't know how old Denzel is. My mom, my biological mom, you know, went off and whatever. Again, don't ask me about my biological mom. Please don't. Mostly because I don't know nothing about her. And yeah, I'm pretty sure if I said the things that I would want to say, my dad would fuss at me. So I'm not going to say them. I don't have, if you can't tell, I don't have the nicest things to say about her, so I will keep quiet. So please do not ask about my biological mother. And then anytime you do ask about my mom, I will be talking about my stepmom because she's the one that raised me. But when it comes to my siblings, my older brother, I never did anything to him. I always looked up to my older brother, like, a lot. And, like, I remember when he left for Kosovo, he was in the military. And he left for Kosovo, and the last thing he said to me was, don't lose your virginity until you turn 18. I think it was like 15, 16 when he says this, and I'm like, that's the last thing from my brain the night I turned 18, y'all. But I never messed with my older brother. My older brother was too busy with his girlfriends. But my younger sister, as most younger siblings do, my younger sister, Jasmine, used to always steal my stuff, okay? And I'm talking about everything. She would steal it and then bold-faced lie right in your face, look you right in the retinas and go, I didn't take it, while she's holding it in her hand. I see you holding it. No, you don't. She was the queen of gaslighting when we were kids, okay? So one day, because I worked at the mall, I worked at a Claire's, and one day I had brought home some lotion. Jessica Simpson, I want to say, came out with this whole beauty line of edible, like, stuff that you could, like, you know, like body lotions and buttercreams and all that stuff. And I had bought some body lotion. And my baby sister decided that she was going to mess with it. She used it all, which made me mad because that was a $15 a bottle thing of lotion. Because back then, Jessica Simpson was a thing, okay? Right now, she's just that chicken of the sea lady. And so, because she messed with my stuff, I went and bought some Nair. If you don't know what Nair is, it's N-A-I-R, Nair. It is hair removal cream. And women use it to, like, shave their legs and stuff. Oh, there's one talent or whatever I might have. I don't grow body hair. Like, my arm hair, my leg hair doesn't grow. Why? Because of Ryan. Thanks, Orion. But it's Nair is something that women use to essentially, you wipe it on, leave it on for a few minutes, and it essentially just burns all the hair off of your body. Well, my baby sister wouldn't get out of my lotion, so I filled it full of Nair. Let's just say it didn't go over well. And I'm pretty sure if you ask her now, she'll start, like, getting really irate about it because she was bald there for a little bit. Anyways. And when I say bald, I meant, like, because I put it in her shampoo. I didn't put it in the lotion bottle. That's stupid. No, put it in the shampoo. Mix it up really good with a little bit of water. Now, I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just telling you that's what I did. Don't be a Miss Coffee. I was mean. All right. So thank you so much, Crafty Lady Layer, for your question. I want to say this is Gizentink. Hi. If you could read one single book forever, what would it be and why? If I could read one book forever, probably none of them. I'm not a big fan of reading, but I also don't have like a favorite book. Like there was no book that like changed my life or anything. So I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. Especially since now all the books I read are like romance novels, like cheesy romance novels. So I probably wouldn't, because reading one book forever just sounds boring as hell. So thank you so much for your question. I appreciate it. Jesus Books Music asks, hey, Miss Coffee, you mentioned in your last Q&A that something happened in February and you no longer do business with DAC. I don't know if I missed something because I don't remember if you mentioned that before. Can you say what happened? I addressed that in last week's video, so thank you, Jesus Books and Music, for your question. Sammy Rose says, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be and why? I can change one thing about myself? I kind of like me. I like the way I am. You know what? I got you. I would change my shoe size. Because when you're a tall drink of water like myself, right? Like I'm 6'1", y'all. So obviously, I'm gonna have, you know, a sort of evenly shaped out body. I would change my shoe size to size like 7. Why, you might be asking? Why size 7 in particular? Because I noticed when I went to shoe stores, anytime I go to a shoe store, you can't find size 6, 8, 9, 10, or 11. But they always had size 7. Like, nobody out here in these crafty streets is a size 7. And I know my inboxes or my comment section is about to be flooded with all these size 7s. But look, listen, the way my life is set up, I'm a size 11, okay? That's 2 ones. That's 2 of these, okay? I'm a size 11 and have been since, like, 9th grade. I am a tall drink of water, okay? It takes big planks to hold this up, okay? So I would probably change my shoe size, because that's kind of annoying, trying to find shoes, and then you get them and they don't fit properly. And then your toes are in the shoe like this. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that, Sammy. Sammy Rose, 1989. I appreciate it. Patty Freed says, Happy Mother's Day. Well, I hope you had a Happy Mother's Day too, Patty. Cassidy says, are you close to Nebraska? My whole family is moving to Nebraska, but not all at once. I don't know. Maybe? No, I'm not, actually. I'm close to I'm close to Canada, and I'm close to Montana. I don't think I'm that close to Nebraska. All right, so we are at the halfway point. We've finished answering the questions on the community tab, so now I'm going to switch over to Facebook, which you guys know I need to take a little bit of a break, you know, puff the vape rig and all that other fun stuff. So give me 2 shakes of a sheep's tail, and I'll be right back. All right, so we've switched over to the Facebook group. I did have a couple of people that I think they got a little bit confused as to where to put their questions, so they put it in last week's thing, so I had to go back to last week. But we have a couple of questions over here, so let's see what we have. So Wendy Mitchell asks, Dear Miss Coffee, thank you for all that you do. You could read the dictionary and find a way to make it exciting. I was wondering, where is the absolute best place to get a custom diamond painting done was? And what would be the absolute best size to get would be? I want to do it with square diamonds, and I'm painting with really bold colors. And when you send in a picture, do they send a hard copy or a digital copy? Thank you so much for your advice. So Wendy, when it comes to customs, I don't know a lot about customs. That's one thing about diamond painting I don't know a whole lot of, because one, I hate customs. I do not like customs. It's not been a big secret. The Bev B's diamond painting and the picture of my kids that I got from DAC are 2 of the only customs that you've ever seen on my channel, because I don't like customs. But from what I hear, you have your choice of places. I wouldn't, honestly, Craft Ease's custom, the picture itself was great. The drills were garbage. So I can't recommend them right now. But I did get a custom for my dad, and he was 100% like over the moon about it. And this was years ago, so I can only imagine that they've improved since then. One, I can't tell you what size to get either, because I don't know what your subject matter is. If you're doing people, you want to do a decent size because you want to get the detail. If you're doing animals, again, you want to get a decent size because you want to get that detail. I would go no lower than a 50 by 60. I would go actually higher than that, maybe a 70 by 80 or something, depending on like the dimensions of whatever you're getting. But the bigger you go, the more detail you get. Now, after a certain point, the detail doesn't matter. And so I don't know whether the company will send you a digital copy of whatever you chose or whatever. But if you go over to Evermoment and message them over on AliExpress, a young lady named Zoe will talk to you. Zoe will show you what the size difference is between the images to have you pick out which one you think would be best. Sorry, I'm shaking my legs. But I'm not 100% sure when it comes to... I'm not 100% sure when it comes to where's the best place. Evermoment has always been the best place to get customs as far as I've known. So I would definitely head over to AliExpress and go talk to Zoe over at Evermoment, because they kind of walk you through the whole process. So yeah, like if I were to get a custom, the next time I get a custom, if I do get a custom of anything, it'd probably be from them. So try Evermoment. So thank you, Wendy, for your question. And then the last one on here is Stephanie. Hi, Miss Coffee. Hi, Miss... Okay, she said Miss Crochet and Coffee. Love your videos. I'm watching from Quebec, Canada. When you talk about your struggles, I feel your pain. My question is, when doing customs, which is better, square or round? Again, I can't tell you which is better because it just depends on the subject matter. If you're doing a cartoony image like this, it doesn't matter what shape you get. It really doesn't. If you're doing a high-tailed, detailed picture like this one, which I think this one is a square, maybe? I don't remember. Is that a square or a round? That one is a round. So, Pride, this one here from DAC, it's a round. When it comes to people, unless you're getting it huge or there's not a lot of detail in the people, I would go a decent size. But if it's a well-known fact that squares give you more detail and rounds give you more sparkle. So it just depends on, for the image that you're working on, do you want more detail or do you want more sparkle? That's completely up to you. So, thank you, ladies, for your questions. Now I'm going to go over to the thread. And the thread we were looking for is this adorable little sea otter guy person thing that I drew. You can't see it, sorry. All right, so we're just going to get started. So Annette Frederick asked, why North Dakota? Okay, look, listen, this was not sort of kind of a choice. Okay, so when we lived in Pennsylvania, I've told this story a couple of times. We were on assistance. My husband was working 3 jobs. We still could not pay our bills. We were struggling, like legit. It was one of those things where they were, if people would ask, did you ever have to decide on whether to pay bills or eat? You know, has that been a thing? That was constantly a thing in our house. Me and Mr. Coffee would go days without eating just to make sure the kids could eat. We were broke. And an opportunity had come up that one of the guys that used to work with Mr. Coffee had offered him a job, but he would have to come up to North Dakota. We talked it over for a little bit. We were just married not too long after he was offered this. And the first time he asked him, we said no. And then a few years, because we literally had just gotten married when he asked. And then, like, a couple of years down the line, the guy had asked again, and Mr. Coffee was like, I don't think I want to do that, blah, blah, blah. For whatever reason, he didn't want to do it. Well, then we met somebody that lived close to us in Pennsylvania that was he was leaving to go work up here in North Dakota. And he would come home once a month, and he would tell us how good the money was and all this. And this guy was very money hungry. Any little scheme or scam he could do to get money, he would. And so he was telling Mr. Coffee, yo, y'all are broke. Come up to North Dakota, get some money. Mr. Coffee finally said okay. He moved up to North Dakota. It was a rocky start, but then he found the job that he's currently at now. And even though he's bounced jobs, like he's bounced back and forth between jobs, he essentially made his way back to the original company that he started out here with. And he stayed up here for 5 years, actually, by himself. Me and the kids stayed back in PA, and he stayed up here by himself. He would come home once every 3 months. We would see him a total of 1 month out of the year. And we finally got tired of doing that because half of our marriage at that point was him not being home. So we had decided that we were going to move the family to North Dakota. So we moved to North Dakota. And since we've been here, we haven't had to struggle for food. We've been a little bit more financially stable. Like, we're not having to choose between food or bills. We live comfortably. We're not rich, but we live comfortably. But right now, with the price of everything going up, it is something now that we have to sustain with 2 incomes, which is, you know, I contribute with my side hustles, and then he contributes with his job. So, that's why. The money was better here. He went from making 3 figures on a paycheck to making 4. Like, I remember being excited to get a $600 paycheck for 2 weeks worth of work. Whereas now, he's making, what, 4 or 5 times that, what he's doing now. So, like, yeah. Well, yeah. About 4 times what he was making in Pennsylvania is what he's making now. So, that's why. So, thank you so much, Annette, for your question. Y'all, I get all kinds of in these things. Fat Jonah. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't say it. Cambria. What is your favorite completed craft you've done? Do you mean like diamond painting, or do you mean craft in general? Because I don't really have a favorite. I love them all the same. Favorite completed craft that I've done? Probably a crochet project, to be honest. I love doing Graphgans, which is when you make little pictures inside the thing. And one of my favorite ones of those that I've done was probably my Super Mario and my Zelda blanket. So, or I should say Link. It's not Zelda. Link. Those are some of my favorites. And I did like a baby Groot and a Batman, and those were my favorite projects that I've done. If you're talking about diamond painting, probably this one here is one of my new favorites. It's Pride by Diamond Art Club. I don't know if they sell it anymore, but that's one of my favorites because it's rainbow. So, thank you so much for your question. Tyra Taylor, if you could teach a Zoom class, what would it be doing? Oh, jeez. I suck at teaching one. A Zoom class? Probably crocheting. That's usually what I'm teaching. I guess that's my calling, because no matter how long I take away from crocheting, I'm usually always put back into it by teaching someone else how to do it, or teaching a class on it or something. So it would probably be crocheting, to be honest. So thank you, Tyra, for your question. Mindy says, Miss Coffee, are you going to do the February diamond painting along like you did last year for Black History Month? And then Pippa writes, you know it's May, right? And she's like, yeah, I know. The reason why you got that reaction from Pippa, one, is because it is May. February's not for like a whole few months now. Like, I can't even tell you if I'm still going to be on YouTube next February, let alone doing another craft along. Honestly, at this point, I don't know. I really don't know. Just because from one day to the next, I don't know what's going on with my brain. My mental health has been a little rocky lately, if you couldn't tell. So I don't know what's going on from one day to the next. And so I can't give you a definite yes, because I don't know. What is it? June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. That is 8 months away. I can't tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing another Black History Month event. It didn't seem to go over well with a lot of people last year, which makes me want to do it again, but I'm not 100% sure. So you'll have to catch me back in next year to see if that's something that I'm interested in doing. I mean, like you did this year. Well, I understood what you said. Okay. And then Pippa asked some very inappropriate questions, which I will not be answering, because that's for the young lady that asked me last week, how do you know when not to overshare? Pippa's question is a prime example of what I would not be sharing on my channel. How often do you have sex? Do you still French kiss? Do you still have oral sex? Oops, sorry, wrong channel. Do not answer those unless you really want to. That is a boundary that I do not cross. I don't talk about my sex life with my husband on my channel. That's inappropriate. In my eyes, on my channel, that's inappropriate. Just because children watch this channel. My 15-year-old watches this channel. And I think the last thing she wants to come up here and hear about is me bumping uglies with her stepdad. So, yeah, no. Plus, my daddy's on this channel, y'all. Like, forget that 15-year-old. My dad is on this channel. You think my dad want to click on to one of my videos and hear me be like, oh, and me and Mr. Coffee were like, no, what the flip? No, God, no. Oh, God, no. So, that's one thing on my channel that I would say is out of bounds, inappropriate, that I will never answer, is about my sex life with my husband. Like, no, y'all would just have to remain curious on that one. So thank you, Pippa, for your weirdness. Pippa is just weird, y'all. Don't mind Pippa. She didn't mean anything by it. She weird. And then Ray talking about, I can't wait to hear her answer those. I ain't answering those. What's wrong with you? I'm not answering that. All right, next question. Denise, now where would you do your chosen craft if it was out? Okay, so y'all remember Denise from last week, right? Denise from last week wanted me to do a craft of my choice, but I could only do it in the U.S. And I was like, okay, why can't I do it outside the U.S.? So she came back this week and was like, okay, now you can do it outside the U.S. Really? Okay, I would go to Ireland and I would crochet on the edge of a cliff looking over the water. And I know they have them because I've watched a lot of Rachel's vlogs. I'm one of Rachel's Patreons, and I've watched a lot of her vlogs, and I know they have cliffs that you can sit on. And I would bring my little crochet bag and my hook, and I would sit there and listen to the water and crochet all day. That's where I would go. Ireland. Boom. Thank you for your question, Denise. Next question. Ray says, I found 2 creators from your tag last year and totally enjoyed them. Depending on life choices, would you do it again? I really enjoyed watching all the creators. What? What? My tag? Tag. Oh, you mean the tag questions I made up? I guess if the creators want to, they probably won't. A lot of them don't mess with, okay. A lot of creators don't mess with me anymore after the whole DAC thing. So, like, there might be, like, 5 creators on this platform that actually talk to me. The rest of them really don't talk to me like that anymore. So, I can try to do it, but I don't know how many creators you're going to find with it. Like, I can come up with another tag, but I'm not sure. If you're a creator watching this and you would like to answer a Miss Coffee tag, put yes, I would answer the tag. If I can get 10 of those yeses, I will do another crafting tag. It won't be diamond painting. It will be a crafter's tag. So it will ask you about different crafts, because a lot of crafters on this app do not just do diamond painting. So, thank you, Ray, for your question. So maybe if I can get 10 creators to say that they will do the tag. So with that said, Sarah says, do you believe in aliens? No. Sasquatch? No. Loch Ness Monster? I like to believe that I am the Loch Ness Monster. I'm not one for conspiracy theories. I honestly yet know that how do I say this? I'm bipolar, which comes with a lot of paranoia and other weird thoughts, okay? Conspiracy theories and me do not mix. If you want to drive me to a nut house, give me a conspiracy theory. I overanalyze and overthink everything. Conspiracy theories are not something that you want to put into my head. So, no, I don't believe in any of that. I do believe in, like, ghosts, but I do not believe there's a Bigfoot. I do not believe there's a Sasquatch. I do not believe there is a Loch Ness Monster. It's usually what I call myself or my children whenever, like, we're doing something weird. So, no, I don't believe in all that. But thank you so much for your question. Okay, I'm about to say D-nice. Denise. Christine says, if you and your family could go on vacation to another country, where would you go? I would force them to go to Ireland. What do your kids want to be when they grow up? Minna wants to be a teacher. Orion wants to be a Twitch streamer, which is another reason why he's pushing me to do Twitch, because he wants to learn how to do Twitch for mommy. And then Maggie wants to be anything that shows or gets her covered in blood. So a mortician or a crime scene cleaner, something in the medical field where she can stab people. She's a lot like my dad, where she, like, has this need to help people, but she also wants to get dirty while doing it. So I would say something in the medical field, probably a mortician or something, because she's a weird little kid and she likes weird things like that. So thank you so much, Denise, for your question. Laura says, what is your favorite yarns for your Centro? Karen Simply Soft. Also for crochet, Red Heart Super Saver. I'm not fancy when it comes to, like, you will see a lot of people with their fancy yarns and their, like, hanks and their, like, all this. I like, give me a simple cake of mandala cake from Lion's Brand. I want to say it's Lion's Brand. Mandala cake. Like, I love cakes and I love skeins. And if you don't know the difference, go look at Rachel's floss tube. Rachel, sometimes in her floss tube, she'll show the floss and it looks like it's like a pretzel. She also has yarn that she'll show like that as well for her knitting projects. Rachel uses hanks. I can't get down with hanks because I hate having to wind them up myself. So I personally like skeins and cakes because they make it where there's a pull in the middle and you can just use that. So anything, the mandala, I want to say it's Lion Brand Mandala and Red Heart Super Saver. Loving Lion's Brand for my machine, but have only used Karen cotton funnel cakes for my crochet marketing bags. Yeah, I like Red Heart Super Saver yarn. It works for just about anything. Every once in a while, if I need special yarn for something, I'll order it just for that project. But if I'm just sitting here working on a project that I want to work on, it's Red Heart Super Saver all day, every day. So thank you so much, Laura, for your question. Robin says, how organized is your fridge and cabinets? Oh my God. And then, of course, you got Becky in there like, yes, tell us. They're not organized at all. I just throw stuff in there. I'm not an organized person. My fridge, is essentially, it's like my snacks. Mine and Mr. Coffee snacks, leftovers, kid snacks, dog meds or meds that need to be refrigerated or whatever. And then there's like Lunchables and juices. It's not very organized. I'm not a very organized person when it comes to like my kitchen. Like everything has its place, obviously, but it's not like everything is labeled and all this other stuff. Like I'm not Becky. Becky, you want to see organized? Go to Becky's house. She organizes like every day. So thank you, Robin, for your question. It's not very organized. I need to get my life together, y'all. Linda is the next one. She says, how are you and what are you doing today? Today, I'm recording this video. We are in the middle of a flood. So then I will probably have to go pick up the kids early from school. I have to finish my Patreon vlog and get that rendered and put up to the Patreons. I have to also walk the dogs in the middle of this windstorm / rain, flooding, and all this fun stuff. And then probably around, let's say 5 o'clock, I'll order dinner because Friday nights we order dinner and we play rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to order or pick where we get to eat this week. And then I go live. And then after live, I go sit with Brooklyn or I will go sit with Ari Bean and draw a little bit, and then I go to bed. So that's my day. Thank you. I hope you're having a good day, Laura. Or Linda, I'm sorry. So, the next one says, Kim. Uh-oh. Am I ever going to get my Yarn Hoard Tour cat picture for Orion as a bribe? I think she wants to see my yarn stash upstairs. What time step are we at? Hour and 17 minutes. I will try to remember to put in a picture or something. No, I won't. I probably won't. I don't know. I'll put up a picture on Instagram or something this weekend of my yarn stash, Kim, so that you can see it. Because that just means I have to go upstairs, and I don't feel like going upstairs right now. Usually when I'm downstairs for the day, I'm down for the day. Okay, I'm not going back up there. So I will definitely show Ryan your kitty cat. It is adorable and super fluffy. But I will put up a picture on Instagram and on my business page, the Miss Coffee page of the craft room. Or the yarn. So Robin Babcock. Hey, Robin. Hi, Serena. Hi. What haven't we asked you? My mind is complete blank. Insert cricket sounds. Serena and I love the Q&As. Have a great week. You guys have a great week as well. Thank you. Julie says, if you could have any superpower, what should it be? I would fly. Because gas prices. So thank you, Julie, for that. Beth says, Miss Coffee, I want to say thank you for all that you do. Yes, you got my last name correct. Bromberg? I have a question about cleaning. Okay. How do you get the motivation to clean your whole house? I work nights and I have the hardest time finding motivation. I don't have kids, but I have 2 dogs. Please help. When it comes to motivation to clean your house, I don't know. To get motivation, essentially, what I like to do is I turn on some music first, and then I procrastinate for about 20 minutes, just walking around, seeing what all I have to do. And then after that 20 minutes, turn that music up and just get to it. Like, think of it like this. The quicker you get the house clean, the quicker you can sit down and enjoy the clean house. Because there's nothing better than sitting back and enjoying a clean house. So piddle around for a few minutes. See what all you have to do. Like, get your brain organized on how you want to execute getting your house clean. And then once you finish procrastinating, then, you know, have at it. You know, there's that. So, thank you, Beth, for your question. So the next question comes from Kira. What is the last thing you saw, heard, or said that gave you a good, deep belly laugh? Okay, I know. Okay. There was a TikTok that Mr. Coffee showed me. Now, for those of you who don't know, my husband's name is Jordan. In the TikTok, they're talking about people getting hurt at work. If you have been here for a while, or if you haven't, a few years ago, my husband got hurt at work jumping off of a dumpster. He broke and tore all the ligaments in his foot. Yeah, it was a weird thing. What made me mad about that situation, though, was the very next day we were leaving on a flight to Pennsylvania to go pick up my daughter. So having to deal with a guy on crutches who's supposed to be helping us navigate the airport, yeah, that worked out great. Anyways, but Mr. Coffee showed me a video from TikTok, and essentially the video was talking about, you know how they have the 0 days without accidents at work? Well, they had one of those, and the guy was like, and then there's Jordan, who gets hurt. Just, he said the guy Jordan gets hurt from something. He's just a walking accident. And I laughed for a good 20 minutes. I'm not even joking you. I almost peed my pants. I could not. And Mr. Coffee's just looking at me. He's like, it's not that funny. I'm like, oh, it is. Because Mr. Coffee gets hurt at work often. Not enough to be a recordable, which means that he has to get, like, it recorded that, you know, he really hurt himself, or he ended up having to get medical attention. But, like, he'll come home with scratches on his arm. He'll come home with bruises on his elbow. He'll come home with, like, looks like his finger's broken. And I'm like, what are they doing to you at work? Like, you sure work hard for your money. Like, good God. And he's like, I had a long day. I hit my head off. Like, he hit his head off a torque machine. One, don't ask me what that is. I don't know what that is. Something about going, okay, it makes it inappropriate. It's in and out a machine or something. He went to go stand up or sit up real hard, and he got hit in the head with it. He had a nice little goose egg on the side. But he's literally a walking accident waiting to happen, which is probably where Maggie gets it from. So, yeah, that had me in a good belly laugh. So that was great. So thank you, Kira, for your question. Elisa says, what was Orion's reaction to receiving the Harry Potter books? Was Maggie's reaction to Babysitters Club? I hope you all are doing well. I hope they enjoyed them as much as I did. Maggie told me to hurry up so that she can read book 2 of Babysitters Club. The problem is Maggie just got in trouble last night too and got a lot of her stuff taken away. So we'll be probably finishing Babysitters Club here faster than we expected because she got her toys taken away for reasons I'll talk about later, where you would have already heard it by now in the live. If you tuned it live, you'll know. If you didn't, go watch the replay. Anyways, Orion's reaction. So when I recorded that video, the kids were outside playing because I had just picked them up from school and I had gotten all these packages in, and I'm like, okay, I can do a What You Got Wednesday. I can do my artist highlight because I was supposed to unbox Diamond Art Clubs, and I was like, they can wait till next week. And so I went ahead and did the artist highlight instead. Well, if you remember in What You Got Wednesday, Orion got the complete book set of Harry Potter. He was super, super excited to get the book set because he had been trying to check out book 2 in that series for the last 2 months, but the book is never in stock at his school library. And he was getting upset because he really wanted to read the second book. They read the first book in class together. And then the second book, he went to go try to check it out, but apparently everybody and their mama went to go check it out as well. So he was upset that he couldn't read it. So when he saw that box set, I thought he was going to cry because he was just like, oh, I got the box set. Oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. So he picks it up and goes to run off, and I'm like, come back. He geeked out when he saw that the big artwork of Harry Potter that I got from Anthony Willer Art, that was for him. And when he saw that, he geeked out. Like, he fell on the floor. He's like kicking his legs. He comes over, grabs a picture, and I'm like, I gotta frame that. And he's like, it's mine now, bye. And I'm like, okay. So he enjoyed it a lot. So thank you so much. He is already halfway through book 2. And that was, what, 3 days ago that I did that video? So, yeah, he's a mess, y'all. He's a mess. And Maggie just wants to read the books because she loves the fact that they're comic book strip type books. So, I think that was the last question, y'all. So, thank you guys so much for asking questions for this week. This was great. But I am going to take a break for next week. Why? Again, next week I will be unavailable because I'm not even sure if I'm going to be putting up videos. Just because that trial is going on and I really want to watch it, I'm 100% invested, okay? If you want to kiki about it later, maybe I'll do an evening live or something, but I'm going to try to record some videos this week to make sure you guys have videos for next week. But if you don't happen to get videos next week, just know I'm sorry. Not sorry. I'm watching the trial. I'm invested. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and continue to do so. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, I'm going to take next week off. I'm going to come back the week after next, and we're going to do, actually, no. I will still put up a little animal picture in my community tab and in my Facebook group. I might not answer that. I might not answer it next, I might not get to it next Friday because that's when I record these videos. So it might be like weird how I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I will put up another picture so you guys can have a Q&A number 5. But thank you to everyone who asked questions in this particular Q&A. And again, if you would like to ask a question, just go over to my community tab here on YouTube or go over to my Facebook group, which is Crafters Anonymous with Miss Coffee. And at the top of the page will be a pinned picture of one of the artworks that I've done. And all you have to do is ask your question in the comment section below that. But with that said, folks, I got to get out of here. Thank you so much for giving me your time and watching this video. I so greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. But with that said, I now have to go render this and get this up for my Patreon. So thank you again for watching. Please remember that it's hard out here in these crafty streets. Please remember to stay safe, stay caffeinated, stay crafty, and always try to be kind to others, be courteous, and be cool. Bye, guys.